maybe the market is listening because we came out the gate really strong with some vigor today and now struggling to hold up. At this particular point, I want to bring in a Bank of America U.S. equity strategist and head of small and mid-cap strategy, Jill Hall, along with Bull Tick Capital Markets Chief Strategist, Kathryn Rooney Vera. Let me start with you, Kathryn. Just this Morgan Stanley note, we see a lot of notes like this all day long. Whether it's Morgan Stanley, almost every firm feels this way to a degree. Do you agree that there's a massive disconnect going on?
I do think there's a massive disconnect. I do expect recession to be the next phase of the economic cycle. I think it's noteworthy, Charles, that we've had disinflation, and there is disinflation, with unemployment reaching new 53-year lows. I think that's unsustainable if the Fed really is serious about getting to its 2% target. Can we put an asterisk next to this because of how many people lost their jobs during COVID, how many people left the labor force? I mean, unemployment to population ratio is not back where it was. Participation is not back where it was. So is it really that odd? I know it doesn't happen or it happens rarely, but is it that odd against that backdrop? You're right. You can't fire what you couldn't hire, right? So there's still a dearth of employees to fill those positions that remain unoccupied. My concern, Charles, is that yes, this can continue, but we're not going to get to the 2% target. So if the Fed is really serious about getting to that 2%, yes, it's arbitrary. But if it's a 2% target, it's very unlikely to do so with record low inflation and wages growing when it induces something called wage price spiral, which means wages are going higher, so you got to charge more for your goods and services.
Killing disinflation.
Yeah, look,
Charles. Is it real? Can it happen?
It's hard to imagine it happening without a recession. I think that's what's coming next. I do stay cautious in the near term, but what's on my radar, and we haven't talked about, is emerging markets. This is an area that's going to outperform in nominal growth versus developed markets. These are countries, these are geographies that, as you mentioned, Jill, this is a reopening of the China trade, and I think that's going to prove positive for emerging markets with a Fed that tapers off in the near term here and with a dollar that's weakening.
I wish we had more time. It went by so fast. Ladies, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Jill and Kathryn.